Texas Tech's defense was really the story, causing the turnovers, preventing the run for Kansas State. And they get pressure after the QB. So like they had over 10 tackles for a loss this week too.
Welcome to Saturday versus Sunday. I'm John Barbin. With me is Jeff Dover. Let's talk football.
We're a couple of average football fans that watch college, the NFL. We hope to earn your like and subscribe today. This is our review of the Kansas State Texas Tech football game. What are your initial thoughts?
Man, nobody wanted to hold on to the ball in this game.
Oh my gosh. It was like turnovers are key. I mean, that's not a hot take. That's important for every game, but good gracious, when you so many fumbles and all kinds of turnover any way you can this game.
I think we go 2 turnovers in a row from both teams opening the game, right?
Yes.
What do we get here? Texas Tech opens the game with an interception, and then Avery Johnson returns the favor in 6 plays, right? 6 plays, 34 yards, interception, and Avery Johnson returns the favor immediately with an interception. Yeah. And that one, this guy, it must be so frustrating for Kansas State fans.
Oh my goodness.
Because in the same game that he does that bullshit, he has that 46-yard touchdown run that you could like, oh, that's the fastest guy in the country.
Yeah. No, it's similar to the Sellers at South Carolina, right? Like this Avery Johnson has all the physical talent you need. Like he can make every throw. He's great at running the ball. You know, like this was going to be a really, we predicted that Kansas State was going to be really good this year because he was returning quarterback, which isn't the same for a lot of teams, the Big 12. And, you know, and he shows flashes of this, but it's like the 2 interceptions are an absolute killer, you know, and the fumbles didn't help for this team. And there's, you know, but it's really frustrating because they should be better. And because the defense is good too. So but the offense has really put the defense in a bad position in these games.
So that first interception by Austin Romaine, one of the middle linebackers, he picked off a screen pass, a middle screen with a club, right? He has like his one hand's all like just a giant mallet. So it's rare to see a middle screen get picked off. I mean, Morton was retreating. He just threw a lot. I mean, that's on Morton. Just it's too much of don't throw that. That's where you just dirt it into the ground. And maybe he's just, you know, NFL players, NFL QBs are usually poised enough like, no, it's not there. But I just think Morton finally being back. Oh, and Hammond's gone for the season. This is all Morton now. Right. So he can't afford to be doing bullshit like that. So maybe he just wants to make a play, but right there, just live to play another down. That's not the pass you throw.
Yeah, that's at this point, you shouldn't be, when you've already decided where to go with the ball, regardless of what's happening, that's never a good thing for a QB, right? Because what they say really defines good QBs is like the decision making and you know, distributing the ball where it needs to be. So getting intercepted on a middle screen is not good. Getting intercepted by a linebacker with the club on the hand, doesn't even have a hand, that's really bad because that means the ball was thrown so well to him that he could catch it, the defender could catch it with one hand, essentially. For those that don't realize, a club, they use that for if you have like a finger injury that had to have surgery sometimes. And so if it was a wide receiver, like they'd be out for weeks, but for a middle linebacker, like you can club it up and then because you can still run around and tackle people because the expectation is that you don't have to handle the ball. So because that's what they're planning on. So it's really crazy he hasn't done any catching drills or anything like that, like for weeks. So it's nuts that he was able to catch that in that play.
Well, he just floated a lollipop. There was no velocity on it. He's backpedaling. You just got to know not to let that one go. So it didn't hurt them. They obviously won the game. Hopefully for Morton, that's a lesson learned. Don't, if the screen's not there, that's a one read and done play. If the screen's not there, it's done. There is no
you throw it at his feet. I don't understand.
That's all you can do. And I just, early in the game, I think he just wants to, unless he didn't see him, it was a mess. But if it's a mess, you don't throw it. Like that, that has to be clear. Anyways.
Yeah. No, and it's the other thing that was the other note I have about this game is I really appreciate coaches going for it on 4th down. And man, is it frustrating when they don't get it. Like, because the turnover on downs happen a lot. Like it's like more than I remember usually watching a game.
And so even though the final score kind of looks like it got away on them, this game they're in this game for all the way starting the fourth quarter. This is still a game here. I just want to finish off. So that give it right back to them interception Johnson throws on the very first possession, first drive, first possession. He throws that. So he's rolling out of the pocket, and first of all, that guy's got a rocket for an arm and a fast release too. Like you said, he has all of the NFL stuff, but man, is he risky with the ball. More risky this year, it feels like, than last year. I mean,
yes,
I don't know how this team's so turnover prone, but he threw it on a some kind of pattern down the sideline. Somebody screwed up because the ball is landing in a spot with two of his receivers standing side by side. And there's no such thing as a offensive system where two receivers end up in the exact same spot at the exact same time. That's a huge mistake. There needs to be way more space than that. Now, obviously, he broke contain, so maybe they both thought they were in scramble drill or something. But even then, you got to be aware where you are, because all you're doing is drawing defenders to the same spot. And then it just looked like there was a pack of like 5 people. There was zero chance that was getting completed to one of his guys. There was 2 of his own guys and 3, I think, defenders all in one little spot. Like, that's like an end of game Hail Mary situation.
Yeah, no, and the frustrating part, like you said before, is that he's a good QB. Like he was good last year. He's a junior now. Like someone like that who's been in the system, has been there the whole time and they had a consistency with head coach for a while. Like that's the kind of thing that shouldn't happen, or you should get better at not throwing those turnovers. So because that whole team is built around that. It's built around ball control, good defense, keep everything in front of you, like run the ball really well, run the QB really well, like, and throw just enough to keep them honest. And then the only thing you can't do in that system is turn it over, which is just brutal.
And their receivers and tight end, nobody could hold on to the ball today. And
No.
good, and a lot of those weren't just incidental. Like the Texas Tech linebackers were punching the ball out left, right, and center. Like they were. It was not the luck concept here. This is like Johnson throws it into trouble. His guy picks it off. At least 2 of the other fumbles were, you can see it was fully just being punched out. So I mean, they're good for the linebackers on Texas Tech. Rodriguez punched the one out. It was just they were just on it, and it was sloppy ball handling. I mean, it's kind of 2 parts. If you got 2 hands on the ball, it's really hard to punch it out. But if you're fighting for yards when you shouldn't be fighting for yards over the middle, like, just what are you doing? Last item here in the first half. So this is an example of the K-State like feast or famine concept on offense. So our first drive is just one play interception. Then we get an 80-yard touchdown drive that includes Avery Johnson going for 46 yards when it was so obvious, like no one could possibly catch him. Then the other 5 drives for the entire first half for Kansas State. Okay, so we've got the interception, we have a turnover on downs, we have a punt, a fumble, and a punt. And all of those put together are a net of 20 total yards.
Yeah. No, and then that was the point that I was going to make when you talk about Avery Johnson too, who was great. And like, listen, we say this almost every week. You're like, well, if you take that play away, like this is what happened. And that's because that's how the game goes, right? Like Texas Tech held them to nothing most of the time. Like Johnson had that one long run for 46 yards. He had 88 yards overall. But that means the running backs total had like 38 yards all day, which is not good. Like that's not going to work. So yeah, it's the Texas Tech's defense was really the story, causing the turnovers, preventing the run for Kansas State. And they get pressure after the QB. So like, and they had over 10 tackles for a loss this week too. So that's the Texas Tech defense is really significant. That was my last note of the game, was that I really felt like it was about the Texas Tech defense. And Williams, number 20 for Texas Tech, looks really good running the ball, like very dynamic and fast, but also strong with the ball. Like he's a really good running back.
Yeah, and he hit on a long TD right after one of the turnovers. He hit like in 3 plays. He hit a 41-yard TD, and it sometimes it's him, sometimes it's Dickey, but either way, one of those 2 can completely burn you and take a game over on the ground for Texas Tech. So I mean, they're starting to look like a complete team here. And especially like how good going into this season, we expected Tech's defense to be good, and this was an example. We got 3 different linebackers with fumble recoveries. We get interceptions. We just get all of it. We get to see all of it. They only got after Johnson. They only sacked him twice. One of them, Bailey, just smoked him.
Oh my
So
goodness. Yeah,
I think
he did.
he's leading the country in sacks. So I mean, it's
Yeah,
sort
he's
of
up there.
it's all and I think they're missing one of their best players is out for the season. But again, now we're at the point where depth matters. A week or two ago, I said this might be the only team that can go 2 QBs deep and doesn't look like they miss a beat when Hammond's in, but we have no Hammond left, right? He's done for the season. So now it's imperative Morton stays healthy. Because Morton was in and out of the lineup last year too. That's when we first discovered, oh, Hammond's got it. And then this year he came in and looked great, but no more. Now who knows? Maybe there's another guy. Yeah. But until now, I felt really confident. I didn't care which one of them was in. It looked like they could run the table with either of them.
Yeah, I think Morton's really good. I think if you're a Texas Tech fan, you have no trouble going with Morton. Like you might prefer Hammond or something, but Morton's fine. Yeah, just to finish your last point about Bailey, he's got 11 and a half sacks already this season, which is really impressive.
Yeah, so it's all there. I think Bryce Pollock gets a fumble recovery and an interception, so good for him. Like that's just the linebackers are just showing up here. This is the overall team I think people expected to see here, doing it on both sides of the ball. But as far as the game flow goes, going into I mean 43-20, right? Okay, that looks like a complete dominant performance, but we're 29-14 going into the fourth, then we're 29-20. So Kansas State is in this game. It's 2 scores, yes, but 9.2 score. Okay, fine. We go in. Then that's it. That's it for Kansas State. No more scoring, and then Texas Tech just piles it on after that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's the Texas Tech, like their defense is really good. I think that they've got a colossal game next week now against BYU. That's really a de facto like playoff game pretty much, because the winner's going to have the inside track on the Big 12 championship game, and you might have to win that in order to get the playoffs. So yeah, the game day is going to be there. So really big game for them, and it's going to be really important for Bailey to have a lot of pressure on BYU again, and hopefully Williams can keep running the ball.
Yeah, so Tech outscores them. What is it, like 14 or something to nothing in the final quarter here. And the thing is, well, no, what is it? Oh no, it's like 21-14. What we go from 29-20 to 43-20. So they massively outscore them in the fourth quarter here. But the key thing here is the best teams get better at the end of the game, and the ones that are going to be there at the end of the year do this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the first 3 quarters looks like, as long as you can come through and finish the game strong. And the best teams now, that's what they do. And this is one of those type of teams that gets stronger as the game goes on.
Which is pretty impressive, because in the off season, there was a lot of noise about, Texas Tech had a lot of transfers, like had a huge incoming transfer, especially on the defense. And you never know how that's going to work. Like sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't. So to have the type of team that, like, to your point, that is exerting itself on defense in the fourth quarter and getting it done is really impressive, that they've come together like this.
Yep. Okay. So I don't know. So you got said everything you got on your notes?
Yep.
Let me see here. Yeah, I think that's all I got too. So, like you said, let's just do a quick look forward here on their schedule. We got BYU, probably the biggest game of the year in the Big 12.
Yep.
The Tech BYU game. And then, I mean, to me, that's it on their schedule. I think it should be, they should handle UCF and West Virginia after that. So the whole thing revolves around the BYU game.
Yeah. At West Virginia is not like nothing. Like at West Virginia is always a tough place to play, and they just upset Houston this week. So, but still, like, they'll be heavily favored in both those games.
So if they only have one loss in conference, right? Is Arizona State.
Correct.
Now that Arizona State hung on, a bunch of crazy stuff has to happen, but it actually could get muddy if they lose. Well, I guess if they lose the BYU game, now they have 2 losses in conference, and it would be
BYU would be undefeated then, and Cincinnati still has 1 loss. So that's they need help now getting in, and then and how they decide which 2-loss team gets in would be pretty crazy, because there's a lot of you beat you, but we beat them kind of situation.
Right. But at that point, BYU wouldn't. Oh, so really would be the argument would all be over that second spot because BYU. Well, but BYU still has TCU and Cincinnati and UCF left. If they'd have to drop at least 2 of those for then to get it really, really messy. But either way, so a lot of chaos can still happen here. If Tech holds serve, it shouldn't be. Well, really, they really have to do BYU to avoid like a lot of mess happening here.
Yeah, they do. It's a big game.
Huge game. All right. Oh, I can't wait to see that one. All right. Well, that's all I got. Is that everything on your notes?
Yep.
All right. Well, if you're still with us, we appreciate you being here. We know our channel's small. We just started it last year. So if you want to support us and you like what we got going on, a like and a subscribe would go a long way, and we'd super appreciate it. So for Jeff Dover, I'm John Barbin, and that's your Saturday versus Sunday podcast.